Everybody wants the promise, but nobody wants to be processed. Everybody wants to walk in their purpose. Everybody wants the blessing. Everybody wants the breakthrough. But very few are willing to become the kind of person that can handle the promise when it shows up. Let me tell you the truth. Most people avoid. God doesn't give the blessing when you ask for it. He gives it when you're built for it. You don't get the dream by wanting it. You get it by becoming the kind of person who can carry it. Some of us are asking for elevation, but we're still operating at a beginner's mindset. We're asking for platforms, but haven't mastered personal discipline. We're asking God to trust us with more when we're still inconsistent with the little. Hear me, God won't promote what hasn't been processed. There was a season in my life when I was praying bold prayers, asking God to expand my territory, asking for influence, for favor, for opportunity, for next level impact. But nothing was moving. I was frustrated. I was doing all the right things, showing up, speaking positive, serving, trying, and I kept asking, God, where's the open door? Then one day during my quiet time, I heard something so clear in my spirit. You're not being denied, you're being developed. That broke me in the best way, because I realized something important. God doesn't care about our comfort. He cares about our capacity, and the waiting season wasn't wasted. It was working something in me that success never could. See, I thought I was ready, but I wasn't built yet. My faith wasn't rooted. My mind wasn't stable. My habits weren't aligned. God wasn't holding me back. He was holding me together. Let's break this down. 1, the promise is real, but so is the process. Yes, God called you. Yes, the vision is real. Yes, your future is full of purpose, but you can't microwave maturity. You can't skip development. You can't fast forward character. God will not deliver what you're not built to steward. If you're asking for influence, He'll test your integrity. If you're asking for increase, He'll test your discipline. If you're asking for leadership, He'll test your servanthood. Because if your gifting takes you where your character can't keep you, you'll collapse under the weight of your own prayer. Say this with me. I don't want it fast, I want it strong. I don't want it early, I want it eternal. I will not skip the process because I want to last. God is building me before He blesses me. Let's look at the life of Joseph. God gave Joseph a dream as a teenager that he'd be a ruler, that his brothers would bow, that he'd be elevated. But what happened right after? Betrayal, a pit, slavery, false accusations, prison. Why? Because the dream was real. But Joseph wasn't ready to carry it yet. He needed to be built before he could bless others. God didn't forget Joseph in prison. He was forming Joseph in prison. Joseph learned how to lead when no one was watching, how to serve with integrity, how to trust God when the promise looked dead so that by the time the promotion came, Joseph didn't just look like a leader, he was one. You may feel stuck today, but you're not stuck. You're not overlooked. You're not abandoned. You are being built. Say that to yourself. This is not punishment. This is preparation. This is not delay. This is development. I'm not behind. I'm becoming. Most people chase calling before they've settled their identity. They want the reward of purpose without the roots of character. They want the crown, but not the cross. They want public fruit without private faithfulness. Listen to me. God is not just trying to get you to your dream. He's trying to make you into someone who can carry the weight of it. Before Jesus began his ministry, before he healed the sick, preached to the masses, cast out demons, he was led into the wilderness. No crowd, no spotlight, just fasting, just temptation, just testing. Why? Because identity is always established in isolation. Before Jesus could walk in the power of his calling, the Father had to root his Son in truth. This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. That's not rejection. That's mercy. Some of us are praying for relationships, but if God gave them to us now, we'd sabotage them because we haven't healed. Some are praying for business growth, but if the income came today, we'd waste it because we haven't developed stewardship. Some are praying for a platform, but we haven't learned how to serve in silence. So God says, I'm not holding back the blessing, I'm holding back the breaking. Because he's a good father and he'll protect you from premature promotion. Let me give you the 4 phases of God's building process. The revelation. This is when God shows you a glimpse of the promise. It excites you but doesn't come with a manual. The resistance. This is where everything seems to push back. Delays, closed doors, silence. This phase separates those who want it from those who are willing to be made for it. The refining. This is where he strips pride, ego, insecurity, and comfort. He kills what can't carry the promise with integrity. The release. This is when not only are you ready, you're grateful for the process that prepared you. And get this, if you skip any one of those phases, you delay your destiny. Say it with me. God, don't give it to me until I'm ready to carry it. I don't want promotion without process. I will not complain while being built. I trust the wilderness because I trust the builder. The weight is shaping me into a weapon. There are things I used to cry about not receiving that I now thank God He didn't give me. There are platforms I begged for that would have crushed me. There are relationships I thought I needed that would have distracted me. There are open doors I knocked on that God locked, and I see now it was for my protection, not my rejection. So now I don't just pray for the promise, I pray for the wisdom to become the kind of man who can carry it. That's maturity. That's legacy-building faith. Here's your spiritual builder's blueprint. 1, start every day with submission. Before you check your phone, check in with your Creator. 2, choose discipline over dopamine. Don't feed every craving. Build delayed gratification into your routine. 3, serve where you are, with full excellence. Before the palace, Joseph served in prison. God promotes servants. 4, stay in the Word, not just for comfort, but correction. Let Scripture shape your standards. 5, stop comparing, start cultivating. You're not late, you're being built. Focus on your bricks. Repeat after me, I am being built for the blessing. I'm not waiting, I'm becoming. I have the patience to endure the process. I am grounded in purpose, rooted in identity, and strengthened in sets. I'm not in a holding pattern, I'm in construction. Hear me out. If you're in the waiting room right now, stay there. If you're in the wilderness, walk through it. If God hasn't given you what you asked for, praise Him anyway, because He's not slow, He's strategic. Your foundation is being poured. Your strength is being forged. Your humility is being carved, so that when the promise comes, it doesn't break you, it blesses you, and through you, blesses others. Don't quit now. You're not just going to get it, you're going to be ready for it. If you've made it this far in the message, you already know God doesn't give promises just to excite you. He gives them to prepare you. You're not being delayed. You're being developed. And if you don't feel ready, good. He's still building you. But now it's time to shift the mindset. You don't wait for the promise like a beggar. You walk toward it like someone already equipped to carry it. Let me tell you something powerful. God doesn't wait until you're perfect to call you. He calls you by what He sees in you before you see it in yourself. You're not becoming a leader. You're already called a leader. You're not hoping to become disciplined. Discipline is already being developed in you. You don't have to wait until people believe in you. You just have to walk like you believe God. David was anointed king while he was still a shepherd. Esther was called queen while still in hiding. Gideon was called a mighty warrior while hiding in fear. So what does that tell us? You walk like it before it looks like it. You believe it before you feel it. Most people think the spotlight is where you shine. But let me tell you a truth. The spotlight doesn't reveal your potential. It exposes your preparation. That's why people get promoted too soon and crash, because their platform outgrew their preparation. But you're not building that way. You're laying brick on brick. You're mastering the boring. You're grinding in secret. You're becoming unshakable. So when the stage comes, you won't flinch. You'll be ready. Let's talk about Moses. God called Moses to lead an entire nation out of slavery. But before that, he spent 40 years in the wilderness, alone, forgotten, hidden, tending sheep. Why? Because Moses had to be emptied before he could be used. God stripped him of his title, his identity as Pharaoh's grandson, his pride, his plan, and rebuilt him as a servant, a listener, a vessel. So by the time God said, "Go," Moses didn't walk in arrogance, he walked in obedience. You want to lead others? Then you've got to let God lead you. In the wilderness first. Let's get honest. Are you still battling inconsistency? Still triggered by other people's success? Still wrestling with procrastination? Still letting fear talk louder than your faith? Good. That means you're human, and it means the process is working. God's not looking for perfect. He's looking for willing. Willing to change. Willing to grow. Willing to stay. Willing to let go. You might be closer than you think. Watch for these. You crave correction more than compliments. You serve even when you don't feel seen. You stay consistent regardless of applause. You take ownership for your habits, not blame. You align your decisions with who you're becoming, not who you've been. God is a God of order. He's not chaotic, he's intentional. Before he flooded the earth, he gave Noah the blueprint for the ark. Before he parted the sea, he told Moses to stretch out his hand. Before he raised Jesus, he made him lay his life down. So if God isn't opening doors yet, trust that he's still building your foundation. Don't run from it. Don't resent it. Don't rush it. The blessing lasts when the building is solid. Say it with power. I walk like I already carry the promise. I don't shrink in the waiting. I grow. God is not punishing me. He's preparing me. I will not abandon the process just because it's hard. I am not late. I'm right on time. I was built for this. Wake up and write a declaration every morning. I am who God says I am, even when I don't feel like it. 2. Show up where God has placed you with excellence. Before the palace, dominate the pasture. 3. Choose the hard thing on purpose every day. Discipline is how you build identity. Take cold showers. Run the extra mile. Say no to comfort. 4. Let someone hold you accountable. You don't have to do this alone, but you do have to stay honest. 5. Don't chase the next. Master the now. If you want more, master what's already in your hand. God isn't just building your platform. He's building your personhood. He's not just working on your future. He's working on your foundation. When it feels heavy, don't quit. When it feels quiet, don't run. When it takes longer, don't doubt. The reason you're not there yet is because when you do get there, you're going to stay there. You're going to bless others. You're going to lead strong. You're going to finish the race and not fall apart halfway through. Because you weren't rushed. You were built. Drop it in the comments. Built for this. Subscribe for more daily transformation. Share this with someone who's ready to walk like they already carry it. This was day 9. You're being built. Now walk like it.